In English, animals sometimes have gender. This depends on how loved they are, or how familiar they are to us. This is our family dog. She is part pug, and part beagle, and part burrito. Biologically, she is a female, but when people look at her, they think she is a boy. Maybe it is the fact that she looks like this, or maybe that she generally resembles Winston Churchill. I'm not sure. We call her she, or stupid face, or pugzilla, but mostly she. Other people who don't know her will often call her it. All native speakers do this. If we see an animal running in the distance, we will call it it. This is the same for any pet that we don't know. If we see a dog on a street, we will refer to it as it. For animals you don't know, it is correct to call them it. But if you do know them, it is correct to call them he or she. If the animal is a he or a she, then you should use the relative pronoun who or that. If the animal is an it, you should use the pronoun which or that. This is the socially correct way to talk about animals, but it still causes us some problems. We really love our pets, and we treat them like family members. So we don't like to think of our pets as objects. If somebody calls beloved pet it, people can get upset. Personally, I don't care. The dog doesn't speak English, so it doesn't matter to her. But some people are quite serious about this and can become quite upset. Because of Pugzilla's extreme and strange cuteness, when we are out in parks or walking her, people often come up and talk to us. They say things like, "He is so cute," and "What kind of dog is he?" We don't care if someone calls the dog a he, because she's a dog. But we call her she because she's a girl. So we will often answer and say, "She is a pug," or "Yes, she is cute, but she's also a complete maniac." Quite often, people become upset when they realize that they have misgendered the dog. One lady actually cried once. She was so upset that she had caused offense to the dog by calling it a boy. They often apologize profusely, and sometimes for a long time. This is one of my favorite corners of English culture. I find it to be absolutely hilarious. Essentially, beloved animals always have gender. If they're pets, famous zoo animals, or animals that appear in movies, we call them he or a she. It's always correct to ask what gender an animal is. You can say, "Is it a he or a she?" Or "Is it a boy dog or a girl dog?" It's always correct to ask. It is less acceptable to call a beloved animal it.